Welcome in, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide, and we are on location today. This week we are at Ramonto's in Claremont, and obviously, as you can see, we got the pizza, we got the garlic knots, and all kinds of food. More food's going to be coming. You've been here before with me, Andrew.
Oh, yeah.
We do it once a month.
Delicious.
And just keep bringing
right?
the food,
Yeah.
right? It's not a bad one to be at. So we'll get more food. We'll explain what all the pizzas are, but we're at Ramonto's in Claremont. We got beer. They got beer specials every night, so don't forget to check them out. But now we'll get into the sports talk. That's why we're here, and we'll lead it off right now with the Celtics. A big win this week against the Chicago Bulls, coming off a tough loss in Houston on Saturday night against the Rockets. And I guess let's start there with this Rockets-Celtics match.
Yep.
They played toe-to-toe with maybe the best team definitely the best team outside of Golden State.
Right.
People are saying the Rockets could challenge Golden State in the
Yep.
West. Is it a good sign that they went toe-to-toe with them, or is it kind of demoralizing that they played their best basketball and still lost?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think that was a really good game for the Celtics. That loss definitely stung a little bit, but I think it shows that they can, I mean, in a playoff series, when you're playing multiple games against the same team, I think it shows that they can really stay toe-to-toe with Houston, maybe with the Warriors as well. I mean, we've seen them in other games. They beat both of these teams. You know, in kind of fluky games for maybe both of those two really good teams. But really, the Celtics, they can compete against the best teams. I think it's a good sign.
Well, and it's obviously a one-game scenario, and to only lose by that few points, and it's a West Coast trip, basically, not a West Coast trip, but going out west, and just a one game on the road. So it's not a bad thing. But going back to the Eastern Conference, where obviously the Celtics will have to get through the Toronto Raptors. They're the number one seed.
Right.
Kind of, I don't want to say extending their lead over the Celtics, but they've been holding pretty steady as the best record the Raptors have.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like, hey, second fiddle to the Raptors, but well ahead of the Cavs? Is that the standings right now where we're going to see those three teams?
I think after the trade deadline, the Cavs improved, but recently they've kind of come back down to earth.
Yeah, they haven't really done much.
I think the Raptors have been playing really well, but I also think maybe they've been playing a little bit better than what their team should, like the level they should be playing at. I think they'll come back down to earth a little bit. I think by the end of the regular season, I think the Celtics will probably hold the number one seed in the East.
Yeah.
I think they're going to finish the year strong. I mean, they've just been playing really well. They have really good depth when you look at this team. I mean, a lot of young players playing well, too. I feel really, really good about the C's for the rest of the regular season.
Okay, so you talked about how they might be able to overtake the Raptors. Where is their, where do they rank in the whole NBA? Is it really probably fourth? We talked about the Rockets and the Warriors being ahead of them, but then it's Raptors and Celtics right there. I mean, or is there other teams that you think might give them matchup trouble?
I don't think you can sleep on the Cavs. I think in a playoff series, I just think LeBron James always takes control of those games. Unless there's some kind of health issue with him. I think the Cavs, come playoff time, they really should be considered a top seed. They're maybe not as strong as last year, obviously without Kyrie Irving.
Right.
But I would consider the Celtics maybe the third best team. I think they're better than the Raptors.
And also, when you got a playoff series and you've got the best player on the planet, LeBron James, you really can't count him out. I know people are saying they're not as good, they don't have the depth, but you're not going to count LeBron out. Going to the superstar that the Celtics have, Kyrie, what's your level of concern? He's a little bit banged up, hasn't played a little bit, won't play against Minnesota. Are they resting him for the playoffs, being precautionary? Are you confident that he'll be 100% come playoff time?
I'm pretty confident, not 100%. I mean, I'd like to see him healthy and play every game, obviously, but I do think they're just resting him for the playoffs in those big, important games. I think, in those games that they really need to win, I think he'll be there. And if he is a little banged up, I think he'll play through the pain or the discomfort he's feeling. So I am pretty confident. Not 100%, but I think he's going to be ready to go when it matters.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of season left, 18, 20 games, whatever it may be, and then the playoffs, and then you get the first round that who knows what that's going to be like. So quickly before we hit the break, you're going to get Gordon Hayward back next year. You're going to have a lot of the same pieces. Did they make a trade? I mean, there was talk that Anthony Davis might be here. Maybe that ship has sailed, but could they make a trade, or is this team what it's going to be next year?
I mean, I think eventually this team will. I mean, I know they've already tried to trade for Anthony Davis. I believe we've heard that report. I think eventually they will make a big splash. I just don't see guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart. Is Marcus Smart a free agent after this season?
I think this year he will be, yes.
Well, some of these young players and the draft picks that they have, I think they're going to make a big splash. guy like Anthony Davis is definitely on their radar. He really, to me, is a top 5 player in the NBA. He's right up there with LeBron James, in my opinion.
Yeah, and if you put him with Kyrie and Horford, I think, and Hayward, I think that's the number 1 team in the NBA. So we'll see if anything materializes in the offseason. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We're at Ramonto's in Claremont. We'll talk some Red Sox. Spring training in full swing. JD Martinez making his debut this week. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.